Off the cuff, yeah. Off the cuff, yeah. It's off the cuff, 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 yeah. It's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, it's off the cuff, yeah.
This is God ordained. Get in position, cause we on a mission, fulfilling this vision, releasing contention, and it's God we praise. The one who keeps us from falling, receiving this fullness. Who that man is awesome. You see, it's every day we celebrate. Right now it's time for us to elevate. So get your hands up, cause Hosanna's great. And see, they call it off the cuff because we tailor-made.
Off the cuff, yeah. Off the cuff, yeah.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to Off the Cuff, also known as OTC
University.
Yes, yes, yes. First, let me welcome those of you listening to the show for the very first time. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, mad love goes out to those of you who hang out with us every week. We appreciate you hanging out with us.
Love you.
Appreciate you dealing with us and
For real.
bringing us through the holidays and
know what I'm saying?
through the new year. Now, the voice that you are listening to right now is Bobby. And, of course, the crew is in the house with me. Say what's up to the people, Eric.
What's up, y'all?
Uh-huh. Okay.
I felt like it.
Go ahead, little Chad. Say something, please.
Good evening.
Wait till you make a mistake.
Last week, we were dealing with the topic,
just looked
why
at
are
you.
you here? Do you know what your life purpose is? Are you searching for a clear, detailed idea about who you can and want to become? Well, we broke a little bit of this down last week, so let's get into it tonight and pick up where we left off. So go ahead, Eric. Start us off.
All right. Check it out. First question is, what can I do with my purpose? All right, what can I do with my purpose? Now, once you know your purpose for living, it takes the guesswork out of making important life decisions, okay? So when you combine with your life calling, your area of mastery, and your life path, you can know what you are supposed to be doing with your life instead of guessing about it. Because we talked about that last week. Life is not a guessing game for you to start guessing, all right? And that will save you a lot of money. It will save you a lot of headaches. It will save you heartaches, and it will save you time. For instance, once you know what you're supposed to do with your life, you can make all those important decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, decisions like, where do I go to school? You know, what do I major in?
Right,
what
right.
class do I take? You know how many people I've met, I've said, what are you going to school for? And they're like, I don't know.
Most of them don't know.
I don't know.
Paying money and don't know why they're going to school.
I don't understand that. You know, you got to have a goal.
Yeah.
You'll know the career that you're supposed to excel at and love. You know, excel at and love, not just working there because I got no choice.
Right.
And I met somebody with an engineering degree, but they working like at a fast food restaurant or something like that.
Okay.
So that's not your. If you went to school for that, dive into what you're doing.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
You'll know the best industry and companies for you to work at. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the best company and the industry for you to work at. Because work is important if you want to be happy at work. If you want to,
right.
Some people in the job. You ever seen those people?
Yeah, I've seen them. Most of them work at Walmart. So I've seen those folks. But I've seen a lot of folks that really don't know what they're gonna do with their life. They They started off, I want to be a nurse. Couldn't pass the nursing test. Decided they wanted to be a medical technician, work in a lab.
Don't pick at the slope.
They didn't like that one, and then they became a phlebotomist. And then they couldn't stick people, and so they didn't really want to do that. Next thing you know, they was working in housekeeping. People have to decide really what their purpose to do rather than taking all those paths. Because they wasted a whole lot of time going to school, wasted a whole lot of energy and money going to school, and at some point you got to know what you know.
And it'll also help you as far as which job titles, promotion to go after.
Yeah.
The best places to work and the best places to live in.
Right.
Those are key as well. How to spend and invest your money to maximize your happiness. Because that's very important. I think we talked about it before. Finances and money is one of the biggest breakup things when it comes to marriage. If you don't know how to do your money right and take care of your finances, you can tear your marriage up, or you can be no good for anybody coming down the line because your money's funny. All right. What kinds of books, TV shows, movies that will feed your soul and improve your life?
Right.
Those good shows out there.
Well, I think the help me section in the bookstore, you know, it's called self-help.
Right.
You know, I think people need to peruse that part
Right.
of the bookstore rather than in the 50 Shades of Grey section of the bookstore, because
Depending on what's on their mind.
a lot of folks ain't having sex but want to read about sex, right? But have no purpose in their life and don't want to read about that.
Right.
Because 50 Shades of Grey is not your purpose.
Right.
Following the wrong passion.
Right, that's a different kind of passion.
Following the wrong passion.
You know, so I'm not saying you can't have 50 Shades of Grey, but I would suggest you also get one of those self-help books that can help you get to your purpose or find really what your purpose to do with your life.
Right. And while we talk about this, I watched a TV show that came on. Okay. What's it called? Sisters.
Okay.
Sisters about the
Man, you know what it's about.
Pastor's wives.
Pastor's wives.
The
Okay.
pastor's wife. And I turned from it.
Okay.
It wasn't stimulating. I thought it was poorly done, poorly written. It seemed fake. I don't know what was going on with it.
Okay.
It seemed like an imitation of Basketball
Is that
Wives.
the-
Is sort of what
I
it
haven't
was.
seen that.
Yeah,
I haven't
it
seen that
came
yet.
on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the first ladies of pastors of churches. That's what
Really?
it is. Yes.
That's on television?
It's on television. It's like Basketball Wives. They got drama. You got one first lady sitting there talking about somebody else where, you know, I don't when she didn't speak when she came
might be
in
bootleg first
all
lady.
this time of stuff. And I'm like, what?
Maybe bootleg first ladies or something. I don't know.
And the house they went into, that first lady, she was like, well, I'm not going to sit here and talk about people. I'm like, why are y'all on the air?
Right.
What is the
right.
purpose of this? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So,
purpose is making money.
don't waste your time looking at stuff like that. The kinds of friends, co-workers, clients, bosses, and mentors that you want as well. That's another thing that you need to look at. How to spot and nurture a kindred spirit.
That's nurture, bro.
That's what I just said.
Said nurture.
I am from Cleveland. That's the way we say
That's
it.
how
I
y'all
said
say
nurture.
it.
We say that Cleveland says it like that.
But you in Maryland. You
It's the same
But
thing,
you've been down here
tomato,
for a minute,
tomato.
though. I'm just
You know
saying.
what I often wonder about, and I don't know, you know, I think sometimes if you have to connect yourself with people that are walking in the same direction that you're going.
Right.
Because if you're walking towards your purpose and you with people that aren't purpose driven,
Right.
they will get you off the path.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying that if you go to college, you only can hang out with folks that go to college. I'm not saying that. But I wouldn't hang out with people that would talk bad about me going to college.
Right.
If that's what I want to do.
Right.
You know, because some folks get a little envious, a little jealous because you going to college and they not, you know, and you think you something because you going to college. Well, I am something because I'm going to college, but that doesn't mean that you're less than me because you're not going to college.
Right.
But people get in their feelings, you know. So I tell my kids, find people that are walking like you walk. Scripture says, two cannot walk together except they be agreed. Agreed doesn't always mean spiritually agree, right? Which is a part of it. But if they don't agree in purpose, they don't agree in thought, they don't agree in mindset, you're going to have struggles walking to your purpose.
And that's a good point. I was just talking to a friend of mine. We was talking about Kanye West. No, it's not Kanye West, Tyrese.
Yeah.
Tyrese, you know, he got a book out. And in the book, he talks about how when he first started getting paid, because he came from a messed up home.
Yeah.
You know, father gone, mother just messed up. And he said when he first started getting paid, he was hooking his boys up.
Right.
You know, and his agent was like, look, you can't keep doing that. Okay. And so then he finally woke up and he cut his friends off from putting all his money out there.
Right.
As soon as he did it, oh, you changed.
Right.
What's wrong with you?
Right.
You ain't the same that you used to be.
Right.
What's going on? You know,
Right.
and all the time. No, yeah, and the thing of it is, he did change.
Sure.
He changed for the better. You gotta change.
Yes, you got to change.
You know?
You got to change.
So
You always have to cut off some people.
do.
Don't care what you're doing. Even when I was in school, you know, there were people that I just didn't deal with any longer. And it wasn't because I wasn't cool with them. It's just because even if they weren't in college, at least be progressive in your thinking.
Right. There you go.
There it
you
is.
go.
So I had to
that's
be
important.
around that
Got
kind
to.
of, you know,
That's
because some
important.
cats are trying to, you know, they just had their hustle on. They're going to sell T-shirts or open up a
Right.
business,
Right,
car wash
right.
going or something like that. But my mindset was if you're around somebody and they're doing the same thing, you know, in 3 years that they were doing, you know,
That's true.
when you met them,
That is true.
then you might want to shift, you know, who you're spending a lot of time on. You can still be cool with them,
Right.
but you don't need to stay around them because they're pretty much content in
Yeah.
what they're doing, especially if they don't have a plan.
Very true. Very true.
Right.
I know when I was in the military, it happened the same way. You know, you go to basic training, then you come back to your where you lived and everything's different.
Yeah.
You know, and they looking at you like, what's wrong with you? You so different because you done been to the military. You know, but what happened is the military gave me purpose.
Right.
So regardless of if I wanted it, liked it or not, it gave me purpose. So when I came back, I was different than them. Yeah. Not better than them, but just different than them. You know.
And also finding your life purpose, it lets you know who is the love of your life.
Right.
You know, which is major as well, because you can get married to the wrong person. I'm telling you, to jack you up for a long time.
Sure can.
Here it comes, Bobby. You know it's coming.
I know, but I'm all right with it. I'm just bracing myself.
I'm just saying.
Wait for it.
I'm just saying it can happen. So
all
it's
right.
very important.
Yeah.
You find the love of your life, and I just happen to
yeah,
have done
here we
it.
go.
The fairy dust drops.
Comes the dust.
I'm gonna leave it right
We
there.
ain't been but 5 minutes into the show and you dusting the stuff
Right.
up already.
I'm trying to help somebody.
All right.
Wait to get there. But there's a difference between guessing versus knowing what your purpose is as well.
Right.
If you don't know what your purpose to do or what you're supposed to do, then you're just guessing at what will suit you.
Right.
Or you really just settling for what you or others or the media or your culture or generation, things of that nature, think is best for you. Here are a couple of examples of, just someone's life's purpose. For instance, there's one individual here, Edith Wharton. She was talking about, spotting some clues and actually investing time into, what her purpose is or what her life calling is. She actually writes in her journal and takes several workshops, and that investment for her actually paid off in helping her discover what her life calling is, to work with the terminally ill patients. And she also reads and does journals and things of that nature, workshops that will help her figure out her life's purpose. So you do have to put forth some effort into trying to figure out what your life purpose is.
That's
Everything's not just going to drop in your lap.
That's right.
And I think a lot of times too, people go to maybe what they think is going to get them paid.
Right.
And they say that's what their life's purpose is. Yeah. Now everything that gets you paid isn't necessarily your life's purpose.
Right. That is true.
So you might get rich, but you might be miserable doing it.
Yeah.
Got that right.
That is true.
And lonely and everything else. And if you're in your purpose, one of the things that this lady was doing as well, she actually found her husband once she found her purpose.
Wow.
Right.
Because while she was working in her field, in her purpose, she ended up running into or crossing paths with this man that where she had a kindred spirit with this individual, and began to they began to court. Okay. And that ended up being her husband long term. Before she knew anything, as far as her purpose, this is kind of how she was living or whatever case.
Right. That's exactly right.
So discovering where she belongs, knowing that she spends her remaining time before her grandmother passes away, and learning more about how to care for and relate with her grandmother and her grandmother's friends as they face death. Some were more with grace and humor than others. When her grandmother moves into a care facility, she actually gets to know the caregivers and talks to them about, their experiences and lessons and how they've actually had caring for aging and terminally ill patients. She shares her ideas and her life calling, and a few of the caregivers actually recognize a kindred spirit and become her closest friend.
Oh, okay.
Making her feel accepted and understood for wanting to hang out with people that she actually loves. People her grandmother's age instead of her own.
Wow.
So I think all that goes just to say that sometimes you accidentally can fall into
you can stumble on it.
your purpose in life, and once you fall into it, it might be all around you just don't see it, or you're ignoring it at that time because you don't think it's something that you want to do. That's not necessarily something that she probably looked at and said, okay, this is something I'm going to enjoy, it's going to get me paid. But if you enjoy dealing with the elderly or caring for terminally ill people, whatever, that's something that's already innate. Yeah, it's already in you.
That is true.
That you're doing. So you may as well, you can kind of migrate into that. Yeah. And for this woman, she ended up opening up a facility of her own, and that's where her finances and her riches actually came from. Right. But that wasn't something that she was looking for at the time.
I was watching a show called Chopped. On this show, they have chefs and stuff that come in, and they have to cook certain foods. And one of the ladies on the show, she's actually from the D.C. area. She is she works at the Capitol Food Bank down in D.C. and she was on the television show. And I was kind of shocked to see her. But one of the things about her story is when she was going to culinary school, her family didn't believe that's something she needed to do. It's like, why you doing that? You can't make no money in culinary school. What you gonna try to do? Open your own restaurant? We don't do that. But she decided to go and do it anyway. And so somehow she stumbled into some volunteer work at the Capitol Food Bank in D.C. Well, guess what? Now she runs the Capitol Food Bank in D.C. And it is her joy. And she won the $10,000, and she said, "We asked her, what you going to do with it?" She said she's going to take that money, put it back into the Capitol Fund Bank, and try to do a Meals on Wheels program. I mean, think about something. She's not making a lot of money. So it's not about money. I think our young people always think it's about, if I can't make no money doing it, I ain't doing it. But no, it's not about that always. Sometimes it's about what you said, Eric, passion, right? Doing what you love.
It's a friend of mine, and I ain't lying. I thought she was nuts.
You ain't lying. What you mean you ain't lying?
Because I thought she
was lying to America?
I thought she was nuts.
Okay.
Man. She worked for, the government. She was GS-13, so you was making a pretty penny. Okay. But she wasn't happy. You in the computer field too. You was doing good. But that wasn't her thing. So she quit it and worked in the daycare.
Oh wow!
And, so I'm like, you crazy? What?
Wow, that's it.
That's a huge drop in income, everything. But she's happy. She hated her job.
Right.
And I think we've been programmed so much about money. Just make that money. I don't care what it is. Be miserable as long as you're making that money. Then we don't try to reach for our purpose and for happiness because that dollar has clouded our judgment and our mind. Period.
It's funny you say that because I know of several people right now that have been working in the same field for a number of years. Some of them are making some money, some of them are not, but everybody's kind of at this crossroads where like, I just want to do something different. I'm just not happy with where I'm at. I just want to do something, different. And I think that you have, at the end of the day, you have to find what you're happy doing and what you're passionate about. If you're gonna grow old, if you got to put in some hours and put in some work, you may as well do something that you enjoy doing.
Might as well. You got that right.
I know a barber. He's a barber now, but he's decided now that he wants to work in IT. So he has gone back to school to get his degree in the IT field so that he can go get another job.
Okay.
But he's worked for like 8 years as a barber. Right. He thought at some point, this is what my passion is.
Right.
But he enjoys being a barber. But guess what? What he really wants to do, his passion, is the IT thing. But I think at some point he's grown and matured, and he doesn't care what somebody else is going to say about it. Because it was taboo in his community to be a barber. Because he was cutting everybody's hair in the community. He was the man. But then that second desire was, man, I would like to work IT. Always been interested in computers and how they work. And for some folks, it's difficult to come clean with that.
Right.
But for him, he decided, I'm going back to school. I'm going to sacrifice today, so that I can have a great future tomorrow walking in his purpose.
Right.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So.
And it's never easy for anyone with guessing versus knowing. And guessing at who you're meant to be or who you're meant to become or what you're meant to do is a lot like, when you learn your multiplication tables and you kind of knew you should show... you should definitely know what the answers are, but you didn't.
But you didn't.
You could guess, but you would never have bet your favorite toy or tonight's dessert on being right. With those multiplication tables because you just weren't sure. So you just, making conjectures at what you hope is going to pan out for you. Well, going through life is guessing is a lot like betting on your career, your income, your future happiness, all on not so good of a guess.
Right.
A guess, no matter how well educated, is still a guess.
Yes, right.
Right. So my guess is that most people wouldn't bet more than $50 if they knew what their life's purpose is. Would you let your kids bet more on that?
Right.
Or what about, would you bet the cost of a college education on that life's purpose? And you're guessing, you're not sure. If the answer is no, then isn't it about time to get serious and figure out what you are supposed to be doing?
That's right.
One point about guessing and knowing is finding purpose is not easy. I mean, I think we're talking about it like, you know, you can easily do it,
Right.
But it's really not easy. There are people that have tried the first, second, and third options, and still can't really connect with their purpose. You know, sometimes people are older before they connect with their purpose. One of the ladies on Chopped, she also worked in a food bank scenario, and she was about 63 years old. And only been doing this work for like 7 years. And she feeds over 200,000 people, she said, a month. But let me tell you what the purpose is in that. It's not necessarily feeding people that she necessarily enjoys. It is the people that she trains to feed other people that she enjoys. So sometimes you can look on the outside and say, I wouldn't like doing that, and never give it a shot. Right. But sometimes you have to give it, you got to push past that and say, it's not the outward that I'm looking for, but it's the inside that I'm looking for.
Well, at one point in my life, and I know you're going to say something, I don't really care at this point.
Okay.
One part of my life, I thought I was going to be an NBA basketball player, okay? That's what I was.
Early in your life.
It wasn't early, but it was.
Right. Had to be before you was an adult.
Before puberty. Because you ain't grown since.
Hold on. Okay?
I'm just saying.
That was.
But hey, Muggsy Bogues made it. You can make it.
I understand.
Thank you, Chad.
I understand.
You know, or I could have done football. I played sports and stuff in high school because I could have did football. You know, there's a
you
lot.
You could have been Alfred Morris.
Exactly.
Wow, you kind of look like it.
5'6".
Yep, same size, same build.
Guys like that, same build.
215.
Yeah. About right there. Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you.
So you was gonna be a professional basketball player, a professional football player, and a boxer. I'm just trying to remember.
No, I didn't say anything about a boxer.
But you box.
Boxing is a hobby.
Oh, okay.
But what I'm saying is that I felt that was my life's purpose.
I understand.
Because these are the things that I was doing, which which everybody reached for. But I think I fell into what I'm supposed to be doing when I got on the drums one day.
Okay.
You know, before I even started singing, I got on the drums one day and I was like, I can do this okay. Right. You know. Right. So I was playing the drums, got involved in church, got involved in the music and stuff like that. Of course, you didn't know I was playing the drums. I told you.
So every week is some new revelation with you, some epiphany that you have and want to disclose.
I started out playing the drums. I forgot to tell y'all that.
Okay.
I can't put all this stuff on my bio, man.
Right.
So, started playing the drums, and they kept pushing me.
But we with you every week. It ain't got nothing to do with no bio. What are you talking about?
We have dinner together. We don't even hear nothing about no drums. I know your family. You
just put it all out there now, because I think you just come up with stuff.
You're just trying to wait for us to feel comfortable with you. I ain't gonna spray this on him right now. They did. Because you know who usually plays drums and stuff in the choir. Yeah. You know who.
No, I don't know.
Oh yeah, you do.
No.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying.
He did play drums.
Some of the interesting.
I wasn't the choir director.
All right.
I was a drummer.
You know where I'm going. That's good. All right, okay. I got you.
So, but when I fell into that,
choir director too.
I was not the choir.
You have never directed a choir.
Hold on. Am I on trial here?
All right, I'm sorry.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Eric, Chad, we'll find out about that next week.
You know what I'm saying?
He used to direct a choir.
Right.
New Birth.
So,
Missionary Baptist Church.
So I fell into music, and I found out, a lot of my purpose, which goes hand in hand with my ministry. I'm done. Thank you.
I can't talk.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Oh gosh. So you're a preacher now that sometimes sings, right? Which is part of your purpose.
Yes, Bobby.
And you can jump on the drums if you need to.
I have done it occasionally.
Gotcha. All right, you locked in, brother.
So you keep like some congos beside the podium in case you want to jump over there?
Right there, Chad. It's just if I have to, I have to. Okay.
I'm just asking.
Wow. Okay, that's a good one though, bro. That's a good one though. So why haven't I found?
Interesting for sure.
Why haven't I found my purpose?
A good one. A good what?
A good story.
Oh,
it's a good story.
It's a true story.
I didn't say it wasn't true.
I mean, the way you made it sound.
America is listening.
Why you in your feelings?
Okay. The way you said it was like, okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Spread love. all over the world.
Yeah, all over the world, man. I'm sorry.
Go to the next question.
I'm going, man. Lord, you got sensitive. Why haven't I found my purpose?
I got stuff down.
Unlike Eric, he stumbled into his on the drums with the choir. Sometimes we hold ourselves
people,
back.
Some of y'all gonna go through a few things, you know, become a jack of all trades. But it's when you master that one that you're probably going more into your purpose.
Exactly.
In life.
That was so deep, Chad.
So well said, Chad. That's so well said. Great transition. So why haven't I found my purpose? Sometimes we hold ourselves back from the very things we want to find most, often because we fear how it will change us.
Right.
We're scared of what it might do to us because we find our purpose. Finding answers to life's biggest questions can be scary. Partly because once you find an answer, now you know what you want to do with your life. And that can give you a whole new perspective on your life.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
No more excuses. One of the things I found that keeps people from walking to their purpose is they have excuses. One after the other. One after the other. If this wouldn't have happened, then I would have. If they wouldn't have did, then I would have. You know, and
excuses are useless tools for incompetence. That's really what it is.
Yeah, and we have to stop doing 2013. Let's stop making excuses.
I'm tired of them, dude.
You know, one of my football players on the Patriots, he does this celebration when he gets in the field. He makes a little door frame and he kicks the door down and walks through it.
Okay,
that's his celebration. And I think when we're trying to find our purpose, you have to kick the door of excuses down,
right.
and decide that I'm gonna walk through it. And regardless of what happens on the other side, you're still walking towards your purpose.
And one thing we got to do, even as a people, is to stop blaming either our people or stop blaming the man.
Right.
And you know, we're talking about the man are the reason why you can't get nowhere, you can't get anything. Because you can. We just got to work harder.
Yeah.
But you can get what you got to get.
Right.
It's just an excuse.
Yeah. And sometimes when I say going through that proverbial door, you might make mistakes.
Right.
But you know what I found? That mistakes make your purpose more clear. Because when you make a mistake by door number 1, you know that's not the right door.
Right.
If you make a mistake behind door number 2, you know that's not the right door.
Right.
So in this time, let's try door number 3.
Right.
You know? So
a mistake that's a good point. A mistake is like an objection, which is an opportunity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's all it is.
For you to learn and grow from that situation.
Yeah. And a lot of times we let mistakes bog us down, you know, because everybody has them. But don't let a mistake keep you from going forward.
Right.
You know, doesn't have to do that. A lot of women I know and I've worked with that are single parent moms and they have children. And they almost have lived in the shadow of their children saying, that's why my child is why I haven't. I'm not doing what I'm purposed to do. You know, but they don't ever understand that. Could that child be what you're purposed to do? Mom. Right? Can that be? And along the way of raising that child, you may walk more clearly into another purpose. You know, instead of looking at it negatively, let's look at it positively.
Yeah.
So a lot of single parents are like that, you know.
Excuses.
Changes to get your current life. Changes to your current life. Some people worry that knowing their life purpose may mean you have to give up your current life and leave your family and friends. That's tough, right? Because you're going to be by yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to be ridiculed. You may be criticized. Of course, you're going to hear you crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but you have to get past that fear to go ahead and leave your family and some of your friends.
There's some choices that I had to make that were extremely hard, but I guess and fear kept me in the position I was because I was scared because I didn't want to hear people's mouths. But one day I woke up and I said, "Wait a minute, I'm 40-something years old. I'm a grown man."
Grown man.
Okay, and I was like, "My
You're a
decision
grown
is
little
my
man, but
decision."
you grown.
I knew it was coming. I just felt it in the spirit, so I knew it was coming. I felt So I was like, "I'm a grown man."
Right,
so,
right.
You know, I'm make this. I don't care about the backlash. I gotta do what I gotta do for my happiness.
Right.
That's the bottom line. So I had to do it. You know.
And sometimes you have to say that to yourself. You know, sometimes you have to say, I'm a grown man.
Right.
You know, and leaving families and friends and partners and so on and so forth on the sidelines, that's okay.
Right.
Because if I'm in the game, I can win the game. But I can't win the game on the sidelines.
Nah.
Can't win the game on the sidelines.
Can't do it.
You may feel uncomfortable with having to say goodbye and move on. Not all change is bad, but most of it is at some point going to be uncomfortable.
Right.
We cling to what we know and we feel safe all too often. That's what we tend to stay with because it's safe and it's comfortable. We have to be willing to take the risk and be willing to get out of the boat. Remember Peter said, you know,
Yeah.
he said, come on, right?
Yeah,
Go
come
on.
on. Yeah.
So are you willing to get off the boat?
Right.
You know, and it takes some faith to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it takes some hispa, some guts. It takes some real strong sense to get out there and do that.
And it's hard to take risks, you know. But if you don't take any,
get
if
this book.
some to the man that risks
it's
nothing
Jewish.
gains nothing.
Right.
You know, there's no reward in being safe most
That's
times.
That's true. All right, question. Is it hard to find my purpose in life? It's a good question. Is it hard to find it? Given all this, it might seem like, you know, it's a hard thing to do, but it's not that hard to discover what your life purpose is. Why? Because your life purpose is hiding right beneath the surface of your life. See, like a golden thread, it snakes between the major events of your life and opens windows of opportunity.
Snakes between.
You know what I'm saying? So to find it, all you need to do is to see your life with new eyes. That is an important statement right there.
Very good point.
And that all starts with a change in your mind.
Right.
You got to have a change of mind. If your mindset is not changing, you can continue to see yourself the same old light. You know?
Right, that is very true.
You got to change, and to take a close look at the events, challenges, and lessons of your life, and see what life is teaching you or trying to teach you.
Right.
A lot of times, other people will tell you about your life's purpose before you even know it. True, because I tell my kids all the times, I see it in you. You know, sometimes I do. Some people will tell you they don't see nothing. They will see it on you. Some people will see it on you.
Right.
Have you ever been somewhere and a stranger asks you if you're a teacher, a nurse, or a minister? Well, it's because they see it on you. I used to get that all the time.
Yeah, you used to get that.
No, I mean, I still get it. No, hold on.
I didn't say that. You said I used to get that all the time.
You're right.
You said that.
Bobby.
No,
what I'm
you said I used to get that all the time, and I said you used to get that all the
It's the
time.
way you phrased your words.
So
I feel like I'm in a
sensitive.
marriage, man. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's the way you phrase your word. No, I still get it, but what I'm saying, before
Gotcha.
I was walking in
I'm
my
just messing
purpose,
with you.
I know you are.
I'm just messing with
Before I was walking in my purpose,
Right.
I would hear that.
Exactly.
You're going to do this, or I see this on you.
Right.
And sometimes I really didn't even know, but somebody else saw it on me.
There you go. There you go. I was at a stoplight one day, and you know the people on the side, they have the buckets.
Right.
And they want you to give $1, you know, and usually I have a couple dollars in my little change jar. So I reach over and I roll the window down and I give the guy $1. He says to me, "Are you a preacher?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I could tell because I could feel it when you rolled the window. I felt the anointing come out when you rolled the window."
That's what he said.
Why are you laughing? Oh, it's funny when it's to me, huh? Oh, yeah, see how he is. It's funny now. See, Chad, it's funny.
Hold on.
Why is it funny when it's...
Chad is the one that
No,
laughed.
you laughing too. You laughing too.
Because he laughed.
You wrong.
No.
Oh, you ain't laugh because I
You ain't laugh. You laugh. Oh, so it's shocking to you. You are wrong, America.
What I'm saying, what I'm saying is just that sound like a line.
Why you stuttering?
You know what I'm saying? It sounds like a line he ran to get some
like
money.
he smelled some wine. You was a fellow wino when the window came down.
Oh, so it's a joke when they
I'm
say
just
it to me.
saying. I'm just saying that's what it sounds like.
See, that's
But
why
even
you
though-
got to get rid of friends and away from family for your purpose to come through. This is an example, America.
He could have felt it.
Oh,
Bobby.
God.
Sure, you know what I'm saying? Now we got to identify your life thing. Somebody said, "What are you talking about?" Start by exploring what you care most about in life.
What are
It's
you
true.
talking about?
All right.
Yeah.
To make it easy to get started, I have a list of themes, of life that represent the areas we come to learn about this experience.
Okay, you got a list.
I got a list of them. Yeah,
All right, let's
I
go with
received
it.
a list.
Let's go with the list.
Okay.
All right.
So this is the first
You gonna
one.
make
Okay.
it?
Life and death. Do you focus on life and death? Do you focus on the life and death of it all? Are beginnings and ends a thing that runs through your life? If so, take this way for a test run and see how well it describes you. Huh?
You sound real remedial.
I know. I feel real remedial. I feel it right now. I feel remedial. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, you slayed that up real
No, I'm saying what it says.
Well, explain it then.
Do you focus on life and death, the death of it all?
Okay,
Some people focus on that.
Okay.
The life and death of them or situations all the time. You
Okay.
know, you don't even look at the in between.
Right.
You don't look at the purpose of why you're here. You're just looking at the life and death of it all.
Ah.
Do you want me to go deeper
That
about
doesn't
this? Is
sound
that good?
Now that didn't sound remedial.
Is that good?
That sounded well put, Eric.
You want to take the next
But
one?
a minute ago you sounded real remedial.
Hey,
It's your
Yeah.
list.
Look at
yeah, you crushed that.
another life theme, okay? Peace, strife, and trade. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of us focus on themes of war and peace.
Ooh,
All right.
good one.
They are the backdrop for our favorite stories, and they find their way into our most meaningful conversations. If the idea is war and peace haunt your dreams, come explore the way of peace. Okay, because you know media puts that out there that
Yeah.
war and peace. That's all we see on TV now is war.
Right.
I was just thinking about like everybody loves scandal, but I thought about the word scandal.
Yeah.
Now it's a new one on with Megan Good.
It's called
a new one on-
Deception.
It's called Deception.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she
Deception.
looked really nice in this.
Yeah, very
and
deceptive.
but it's called deception.
Right, right,
You
right,
know,
right,
so I'm
right.
looking at all these TV shows with these names that seem like it's planning things inside of the minds of people.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know.
Revenge,
So I look
all those movies.
Revenge.
Yeah, revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Revenge is
another one.
Leverage.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
True Lies.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of things like
Yeah, a
that.
lot of
So
stuff in there.
you know, I looked at that instead of focus on things. Like it says, take the way of peace.
Right.
You know, even in your situation, in your home or whatever. You know, wisdom. Wisdom is the pearl beyond price. Okay, and they have sought it since time began. Wisdom. If the siren call of wisdom and its opposite. If the siren call of wisdom and its opposite, foolishness and ignorance, speak to you, come learn more. Okay?
Right. Wow. Wow.
Foolishness and ignorance.
You know, one of the things that's always interesting to me is that
You need one of them leapfrogs or something.
sometimes when you,
Don't find niggas or something. I don't know what.
I'm starting to think you need a little ball like you're bouncing while you
Right.
talking.
He sound like Shaq up in this piece.
I know you are not talking, Bobby. You just butchered some stuff up in the game, okay?
Woo. Anyway.
He said shit.
All right.
You tear some stuff up.
One of the things about purpose is inside purpose there has to be a level of joy, right? Inside your
Right.
purpose. And I think that we as Americans sometimes allow people to steal our joy to such a point that we never get back on track.
Right.
You ever meet people that like to argue? They don't follow peace,
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
but they like to argue.
They love, yeah.
Enjoy the drama.
Those people aren't walking in any kind of purpose.
Right. They're not.
Right.
Right.
At all. They're not walking in any kind of purpose, any kind of direction. Why? Because they like to argue. They don't like a peaceable scenario.
Right.
Therefore, they're not in their purpose at all.
Right.
But I find people that actually walk in their purpose, they are humble, they are nice people, they are gracious, and they're caring people. But people that are outside of their purpose, they are really scrambling, trying to find their life and trying to find what their purpose is in their life.
Right. And you just got to find out which one of these, fits you. Another one is creation and destruction. Now, how often are you thinking about how something is created or destroyed? Do you love to watch films where everything gets blown up or where new worlds are created? Does the genesis of a new idea speak to you? And there's a lot of people with that mindset out there, they like destruction.
Yeah.
Like it says, something blowing up or something being destroyed. It fascinates them versus something being created, a new life.
They call those guys
A better life.
Unibombers.
Yeah. Terrorists.
Terrorists. That's what they call those folks.
Or crazy.
Yeah.
Arsonists.
Yeah. That's what they call them.
Yeah, I don't know if you should have said that one.
It's the truth, though. Some people like
sometimes it's just
some
the
people
truth.
like that, even from a spiritual standpoint, just with life, man. They just like destruction, tearing other people's lives up. You know, they'll get inside your life and they'll try to tear your marriage up, try to tear your relationship up, because they're just destructive mindset. I'm not happy, so I don't want nobody else happy. That'll break it down.
That is true. Yeah,
I don't want nobody else happy, so they're destructive minded.
So if you like movies that's like that, that says something about you, maybe.
So if you like Deep Impact and Armageddon, stuff like that, you like destruction. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, not necessarily stuff like that, because I would say that's entertainment. But if it's things, I guess a lot of the movies, stuff that's out here, like Scandal.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
So you're not talking about the individual that likes. You're talking about, let's say, the director of the movie. He always makes these kinds of movies, Armageddon movies and destructive movies, and they have a tendency.
Like Stephen King used to always make horror films.
He's nuts.
And
I've heard he's really,
crazy.
You know, something really wrong with him. You know, you got to be dark to make certain types of movies.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think there's an element to him, to Stephen King, that's just dark. Because some of the stuff he comes with, I'm like, where do you sit and come up with that?
But Stephen King, though, has made movies. I mean, I would say that Stephen King is walking in his purpose, but he's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's a genius, really.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
Yeah. So,
you know?
I think there's I could agree with that.
Right.
Next thing.
Sacred enigmas and mysteries. All right?
Slay that one. Go ahead.
Do you love to solve mysteries, understand enigmas, or unveil sacred truths and mysteries? Many are tempted to open a window and peer into the universe beyond. Are you one of them people?
Most of those folks I know just watch TV. They don't do nothing.
Is that true? That's not true.
I don't know them to really doing anything. They go get a degree as an archaeologist or something.
No, I love mysteries.
Really?
I love figuring stuff out.
Really do? You like the Nancy Drew mysteries and stuff like that?
All that stuff, man. I'm an analyst mentally, so I love to analyze things, break them down, and find out who did it, and forensics and all that type of stuff.
That's
so,
why you're an IT person.
That's exactly why I'm an IT person.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Thank you, Bobby.
Got you.
I thought you were going to say something else you do now.
No, I do IT. I'm not going to even say all of the stuff I do. I'm not going to even put it out there.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean, somebody has to write the stories, though.
Right. Last one, love versus indifference. Okay? If you seek to love and be loved, this may be your way of life. Love, seek love, seek to love and to be loved. Okay? This may be your way of life. You know.
And don't seek drama.
Right.
So I think some people just seek drama.
Some people do.
Real.
Some people like drama. Just love it.
Want to argue, it's always something, you know.
I saw somebody put something on Facebook one day. It said, strong women scare weak men. So my response was, why are strong women hanging out with weak men? It's always funny to me, how you such a strong woman, but you in a relationship with a weak man. Why is that?
Right.
Why don't you go get you a strong man?
Because she can't handle a strong man. She want to run over the weak man.
Right.
Wow.
Right. I'm just saying.
She can say jump. You say how high.
Right. But then in the end, they don't respect the man because he's weak.
Right.
I mean, so go get you a strong one then. I don't ever understand that. But anyway.
Don't need to be
Gotta
with
tame the line. Tame the line.
Be with nobody.
Now, step 2, reflect on your life themes. Next, you want to focus on the life themes that resonate most with you. It is time to see how they already are a part of your life. They may be in movies that you watch, books that you read, or conversations that you have, similar to kind of what Eric was talking about just a few minutes ago. It's also nice to see where they are in your life, your weekend hobbies, flipping through old channels during a few free moments, or maybe a major part of your career. It's also worthwhile to think about how they would be a part of your life if you had the time, money, and resources to do what you really wanted to do with your time.
Very good. Very good. Find the why behind your theme. What about these themes that grab you, hold your attention, get you riled up, make you happy? Finding the why is a critical step in most missed opportunities. Why? Because this is what turns your world, tweaks your psyche, reveals what makes the universal life things unique. and personal to you,
Okay.
it is not a step that should be missed.
Is that true?
Well, what do you think?
Right.
Explore your mastery ingredients. Okay. Once you know what your life themes are, it is time to explore the specifics of how you are to live out your life purpose. To do that,
Specifics. I know you was about to say specifics. You crazy, Eric.
hold on. I've been struggling with that word
I
since
know that's the truth.
Since you was little and you
Yeah,
still
specifics.
I wouldn't even have said
Some
that
things
on
just haunt
to
you,
America.
Chad. Some things just haunt you.
Yeah, some things just haunt you.
There's a lot of words that haunt you. Eh?
To do
It
that,
ain't just specificity.
you want to explore and identify the ingredients of the era of mastery. The things, the people, places, activities, experiences, talents, problems, and ideas you love to work with and think about. Think of the things as the tools in your toolkit that help you do everything you need to do to fulfill your life's purpose.
Yeah.
These things make how you manifest your life purpose unique to you.
Does your life purpose have to be just one thing, or can it be 2 or 3?
I think it can be 2 or 3 things.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we so
Yeah.
busy looking for
Right.
one thing,
Right.
that we miss 2 and 3 and 4 things, you know.
Yeah.
Because you could want to be a teacher, right? You could want to be a preacher, and
Right.
you could want to play the drums. Those could be 3 different things. Why are y'all laughing about it? Because there are people that can be a preacher, right, and a teacher, and play drums in a band, or play drums on the weekend in a band, right, and can still be a part of what they're purposed to do.
That's true, Bob.
Yeah.
Now, I personally feel like as well that your purpose, you may have a purpose early in life, and it may be something totally different later on.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, in life, but I think that whatever your purpose was early in life, or maybe a few things that you might end up doing,
Yeah.
are all to build you up or prepare you for whatever that purpose is later on. So it's all
Exactly.
going to be incorporated on some level, even if
Sure.
it's just something that you learn,
Sure.
you know, or acquired,
Sure.
you know, at that time.
Sure. I know my daughter's an example of that. When she was young, she showed a desire to get into medical terms and terminologies, and she was pretty good with learning those body parts and all those things. And so as time went on, we talked to her about being a nurse. And, you know, as she grew up, she decided, you know what I think I want to be? What's that? A nurse.
Okay.
You know, and so she's in college now. So we talked about, well, what if you decide your junior year you don't want to be a nurse? You know, she said, I don't have a plan B. You know, that's a person that's probably pretty connected
Yeah,
to
she
what the
knows what she
purpose to
wanna
do.
do.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
and I told her this: don't put timelines on your purpose
Right.
like this.
Exactly.
If it don't happen in 4 years, then it ain't.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
it don't happen in 8 years, it ain't gonna happen. Or I'm too old to go back to school.
Right, right.
Why do people say that? That's the most asinine thing I've ever heard in my life.
Because you're never too old.
People say you're too old to go to school.
Right.
Everybody, you know, because everybody
your
else in
brain
school
dead.
gonna be like 22 years old.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm 50 and I'm going, so
Right.
that's the way it's gonna
Do
be.
what you gotta do.
Right, you know, get an A. How about that?
Right.
I mean, go do that. I don't understand why
Yeah.
people really won't step forward. You know, and
It's
just go to
funny.
school.
I went to school. I was going to school for pre-veterinary medicine. I'm sure I've told you that before.
You went to school for what?
I was going to.
Go ahead.
I was.
Go ahead. I said it.
Now you're the black Ace Ventura pet detective up in this piece.
Yeah.
He likes forensics and animals.
Who are you?
I didn't tell y'all that.
No.
Okay.
It's something new every week.
See, there's
Eric.
a show that's coming on called
Yeah.
Do No Harm, and that dude is
Yeah.
one person at daytime, and he's
Yeah.
another person at night.
No, no.
I'm thinking that's
Eric's
becoming
coming.
you. You're a kaleidoscope.
Multiple personality disorders or something. I don't know
That
what's
was my
going
major
on.
when I was going to college. Kent State University. I was going for pre-veterinarian medicine.
Really?
You know, but I didn't finish because I was
Because
like,
you had the drumsticks in
I-
biology class.
Right. Kept thinking about drums.
Right.
Because I was like, it was I didn't want to
It
go
was too
through.
hard?
It was hard. I didn't want to go through
Yeah.
all of the school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I still had to love. So when I got out of college,
That's how you started working in that pet store.
that's why I started working in
With the basketball guy. Got it. Okay. I got it. I got it. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna talk about
I was
that
just bringing up the
story.
story. I'm sorry. But that's how you got in the pet store. So a person like yourself could work in a pet store and feel pretty evolved, feel purposeful.
You remember the basketball guy, don't you?
Of course I do.
Right.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Thanks for So I started working the pet shop, which I did for
The light
3
came on.
years.
Yeah.
Which I did for 3 years, and that's when I found out that this is not my purpose. Because the love for it
And the
was
smell.
just gone.
Ooh.
The whole 9 yards. I was like, I can't do this no more.
Yeah.
So like you said, we mentioned sometimes things just take time.
Yeah, take time. Yeah.
And that's okay. That's okay. You got to create a life purpose statement. That's what you need to really get into doing. Finally, you are ready to craft.
You ready to do what, Chad? Ready
You
to
got to
craft
be ready to
something?
craft a life purpose, man.
Yeah.
But I ain't even gonna go there yet because that's somewhere down the line. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and touch on this since we got this mailbox question coming in.
Okay. Guess I'm reading the mailbox question. Let's hit it real quick. Okay. I read Steve Harvey's book and have here a few shows, and I've heard a few shows talk about letting the man pay for things so he will feel like the man and a provider.
Wow.
I've also heard you guys talk about your daughters marrying someone who can financially take care of them. You better believe it. Here is my question. If the woman makes more than the man, is it wrong for her to pay more often than him by choice? Will this hurt his ego?
Well, let me tell you something. I was in the gym today, and I was talking to some young men. And when I say young men, I'm talking 20, 21, 22, 23. They don't have a problem with a woman paying everything. They said it takes pressure off of them.
Wow.
And what I realized about those same young men, they are not the marrying types.
Right.
So if you just want to play around, then go ahead and roll the dice.
Yeah.
But I think if you really want to have a productive relationship, regardless of if you make more money than the man in the relationship, it's not about the dollar sign necessarily, but it is the role in the relationship.
Right.
Because if you're paying for it and he can't pay for it, do you make him seem small because he can't pay for it?
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you know what I mean? There's a way to do things.
And I think there's a difference too. If that brother, if he is comfortable with it, or he wants you to always pay, then you got to look at that cat as an individual and say, there's something wrong here because that shouldn't be something that he's actually comfortable with. He should be wanting to take care of that tab or whatever whenever possible.
Isn't he asking you out? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, whenever possible. Even if it's somebody that you dating is, I know sometimes people, flip
Dutch,
out. I'm gonna take the bill this time. You take the bill next time. Or we gonna go Dutch or whatever the case. But he should want to be able to take care of that bill more often than not. Now, if he can't because he's not making the money, then that is what it is. But if he's just sitting there like, get that, and looking at you like you boo-boo the fool because you looking at him like, she had a check, then that's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree with that.
Yeah, I think even if you're in a marriage and your wife is making more money than you are, I think you still need to, as little as you make, step up and pay for stuff. Pay for things like that at dinner.
So we're saying, yes, it would hurt his ego.
Well, I think it will hurt a real man. I think a real man who's responsible, I think it'll sort of hurt his ego if he can't pay for things. If the wife is always paying for something or the woman is always paying for something, I think it will hurt his ego.
See, I don't think, I think this probably is a woman asking the question. Go ahead,
I think it also encourages, I have to look at this question that this actually situation would kind of raise as well. Should she have to do without certain experiences because he can't afford to do it? Because if she likes to go out, fine, dine, shop, travel, whatever the case, and she's making, say, 3 times what he's making, and he can't afford to, pay for those things, should they just not do it at all in order to protect his ego?
I think it's depending on how you do it. Okay, if I'm broke and my wife want to go to the movies,
right.
First thing I'm gonna say is, I don't
That's
have
your
no
wife,
money.
though. Your wife understands that.
Well, even if it's somebody you have been dating
Right.
with for so y'all sort of know each other.
Right.
If you just say, I don't have no money, I get paid this week. You know, this is
Right.
a bad week for me. I had to pay this, and she's like, I really want to go. Don't worry about it. I'll pay for it because I just want us to go have a
Right.
good time. That's a different story versus
Yeah.
this a first
Yeah.
date
Yeah.
or a second date.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you got to get some dates in before you start doing that
Yeah,
type of stuff.
build up some credit.
Right.
I don't know, man. I you know, if I got a Burger King budget and she likes eating in restaurants downtown DC, you know, $40, $25 a head, then, you know, we need to have some real conversation about what kind of life we gonna have.
Right.
Because I got Burger King money. If we going into this and you got queen money, then okay. You know, so my ego ain't gonna be messed up.
Right.
Cause we have an agreement going in.
Right.
You know that I paint for a living. I've been painting my whole life. And you know, I'm a painter. That's what I do.
But the thing
You know?
about it is, Bobby, that really, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it can create problems eventually.
I'm not
because
saying-
eventually that man's it's gonna hit him at some point in time if he can't really do what he want to do and or give her the lifestyle that she's used to, even if it's going out to a restaurant.
I'm with you on it because I think the painter guy. Let me use him as an example. The guy I'm talking about that always got paint on his boots and
Right,
you know, like that kind of guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he with that girl, that lawyer kind of girl or
Right,
whatever she is. I said, you right. At some point, they're gonna have to. It's gonna hit the road.
Yeah.
What was that Tyler Perry movie? Was it the Family That Prays or something? The one had Sanaa
Yeah,
Lathan,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she was
Family
dating
That Prays, yeah, I
she
believe
was
so.
dating the dude from Soul Food.
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
was kicking
yeah.
with the white guy, and she went and got all educated and bougie.
Exactly. Right. That's
And
exactly
everything became her. Now I thought in that situation,
right.
she attacked his ego at every turn.
Yeah, every time
And this
she had a
man was
chance.
going out working
Yeah,
hard,
working
you
hard,
know,
right,
and doing what
right.
he had to do.
That's true.
You know,
That's
but
true.
he ended up closing the eye. I wouldn't close my eye. You bringing up him
Yeah.
up in there with a Mercedes and got all this stuff. You know,
Right.
if I'm closing the eye, she closing the eye.
Right. Right.
Because I'm a
right.
closer.
Right. Exactly.
That's all I'm saying. You ain't gonna be running up out here with this. You know, not that I'm condoning domestic
I
violence
understand.
or
I understand
anything
what
like
you're
that, but
saying.
you understand what I'm saying. That
I
some
don't,
things
you know,
that's not.
I don't think she needs to drop this guy because of their situation. But what they do need to do, they need to talk about this situation.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then
So that later on down the road, when we, like you said,
Right.
when this situation becomes real,
Right.
then, because you know when folk get in arguments and they say stuff they don't mean to say,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
you always been broke.
It'll come out.
You ain't never had no money.
Right.
I bought you your first setup.
Yeah.
Right.
And y'all bought you, and I bought
don't
your
support
wedding
me
ring. You
financially,
don't support me, and then all
mentally,
that.
emotionally.
See, there you go. And then you know that can come out.
Yeah.
So we need to be clear, real clear.
And once it's out, it's out. You
Yeah.
can't take it back.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not gonna
Yeah,
do it.
sorry ain't gonna do it.
Yeah.
Sorry ain't gonna do
Because
it.
it's gonna always ring in the back of that brother head. I'm
You
gonna
know.
tell you right now.
So I mean, you love him, roll with it. But I would advise my daughter a different way. I don't condone my daughter picking a joker up, taking a joker out to eat, paying the bill, and drop him off back at home. I don't play like that. I don't do that.
I understand how you feel about
Yeah.
you know saying that about your daughter. I totally agree with that. That's on a dating type
Right, that's what I'm
situation.
talking about. That's all I'm talking about.
Early on,
Right, that's what I'm
you
talking
know,
about,
But if it's
dating.
somebody she in a relationship with
Yeah.
for some time, he already done put in some work.
Right,
She
right.
know where his head is,
Right.
where his heart is,
Right.
and all that other kind of
Then
stuff.
rock with it.
You know, that's a different. Because
Because everybody's got their own thing. You know, you go to a restaurant and look at all the tables.
Right.
All the men aren't paying.
It's true.
Some of the women paying, but that's
Exactly right.
that's their thing.
Yeah.
You know, and if that's your thing, that's your thing. I am not marrying you. You know what I mean? But if it's me, I'm gonna do it the way I do it.
Right.
I get
Right.
the check all the time.
Right.
I don't come up short. I don't. It's payday. You got it. No, I'm short on this payday. I don't do that. We won't go out to eat.
That's a
we will
date,
barbecue.
right? That's a date. You're not talking about marriage. This is
I'm
a
talking
date.
about in my marriage and when I was dating.
Nah.
I didn't do it. I didn't do
So
it.
if your wife came,
You
with
never
she's
not
like-
paid for a check.
I have never not
What?
paid for a check.
So if your wife come to you, and say,
Never.
So you just never been broke. I'm sorry.
Well, I probably
have next to royalty.
We didn't want to rock a nigga up.
But here's the deal: is that I ain't never asked nobody out and didn't have money.
Right.
I've never done that.
So what if? Okay, just say for instance, a freak accident happened and you were broke one time. Okay, just all of a sudden it happened, right? And your wife wanted to go out and eat. But you just didn't have any money, and she said, "Well, Bobby, I just want to go out and eat." What would you be? What would you say?
Because it's our money, it's not her money.
But what if she don't
No,
work a job?
No, it's our money. It ain't her money.
But you know what I'm saying.
No, I don't know what you're saying.
No, okay, let me paraphrase. Okay,
because I don't have her money and my money.
Go back to when you were maybe dating someone prior to you getting married, when it wasn't our money.
It wasn't gonna happen.
Right, and she say, "Hey, I want to go out to eat so and so," right? If she say something to me like that, when I'm at the table, I'm gonna be trying to pay.
Right.
And then she gonna say something to me like, "No, I invited you out. I'm gonna pay for it." Okay, roll with it. But I'm gonna take the lead.
So
on
what
trying
if you
to pay
invited
for
her
it.
out, but you said what you got a taste for, and she said, "Oh, I want to go to Chez La Creme La Creme."
Right.
And you like, "Oh, okay, that sounds like a nice spot. Yeah, this is nice." And you get in there, and there's no prices on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
All the ordering, and you like, okay, she didn't go order lobster or something like that. You just said, okay, well, I'm just gonna have some chicken marsala.
I got you.
And you got something on the low end. But when the check came and y'all had a little appetizer,
sure,
the check was $375.
Sure, we walk out. Hey, I'm going to the car.
Bobby be the one they have on the little bulletin board at the 7-Eleven on the corner. Have you seen?
Because when I go in there, remember I can't bring it up, but anyway, we need to move on because we about to get way sidetracked.
All right. Well, look, we got to get ready to get out of here anyway. So make sure you guys go on to the Spreaker website so you can be a part of the contest that starts February 3rd. That's a brand new contest starting February 3rd. Go to Spreaker, www.spreaker, SPREAKER.com, and register with your email address. Type in "off the cuff" in the search box and click on the follower button to become a follower of the show. This will qualify you for all of the contests.
There it is.
That's what it's all about. You want to tell them what else is going on with that, Bobby Bob? Big Bob.
Check this out. We will be available on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays to chat with you from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. All right, so go out to the website, www.menoffthecuff.com. Click on the live chat tab, log in, and let the chatting begin. All right, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 7 to 8. All right, click on it.
Sound like a plan.
And we can talk about whatever. You got some questions like this mailbox question. You already know how I'm going to answer it. I'm a little jaded when it comes to that. But, hit us up with any of your questions, and we'll chat back with you. Matter of fact, somebody chatted with me last time I was on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah?
And we talked about a pastor situation and stuff like that. So, it was pretty cool. Okay. So, come on, holler at us. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 7 to 8.
Well, tell them how to get on there, Bob.
At www.menoffthecuff.com. I always have two W's, don't I?
Yeah, you always
Well, you know what? Sometimes I'm always short. That's just like Eric.
Well,
this is another point on the show. America, we hope this helped you. And we want you to become all the better for taking time out to find out why you are here.
Why?
Part 3 of point 3. Part 3.
Is it part 3?
I don't know. Let's get out of here, man.
Let's get out of here, cuz
Let's get out of here. It's hot.
We all getting delirious up in this piece.
All right. So see you back here next week.
Same place, same time.
Well, what keeps it real?
Yeah.
God loves it.
All right.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Off the cuff, yeah. Off the cuff. This is God ordained. Get in position. mission, cause we on a mission, fulfilling this vision, releasing contention in this God we praise. The one who keeps us from falling, receiving us faultless. Who that man is awesome. You see, it's every day we celebrate. Right now it's time for us to elevate. So get your hands up, cause Hosanna's great. And see, they call it off the cuff because we tailor-made. Off the cuff, off